Hello guys, hopefully you are doing well. Harry here, and this is our fourth video on the content analysis, right? So basically what we're gonna do today is we're gonna mine S&P 500, right? So we're gonna look for the 500 companies, and after that we have a price chart of 500 companies. We're gonna classify them into two different categories. One is the top 10 high performance companies, like basically who have the highest price in the S&P 500, and the top 10 least performing companies, which basically mean top 10 lowest price into our benchmark, right? So let's see how we're gonna do this, right? So basically, if you have a portfolio on the S&P 500, then this video may be helpful for you, right? So let's start with the coding part now, right? Right guys, so basically first I'm gonna import this library. We have pandas, right? We have numpy, we have matplotlib, and we have yfinance API, right? Then after this we're gonna call those data, right? So we're gonna use a df, right? So we say pd and we say read, right? csv. Then basically I'm gonna copy this link from here. So this link contain all those 500 companies sticker, okay? So I'm gonna run this. Now you can see over here there's nearly 504 symbol, and I also like to make something clear, right? So basically, you know, like on this 505 companies, some ticker may be dislisted, right? So basically when we gonna call the ticker, then most probably we'll know about that, right? So let's do some simple manipulations, right? So if I say something like df dot need to see what kind of columns you have, right? There we go. Now you can see we have three columns, size, symbol, name, and sector. If I say df dot name, now you can see over here nearly 504 names. So let's see what this thing bring on the table. Let's say at least 20 of them. Okay, so now you can see over here those are really sweet and actually organized, right? So what we can do next most probably is we can say like US 500, right? So we're gonna make a declare a list over here, and we're gonna make a one more thing known as ticker, just variables which basically contain df dot symbols, right? So basically you can see the symbol over here, and after that symbol we need those unique symbols, right? So when I say for I in ticker, right? So basically I will say for I in ticker, then I will say US, right? US 500 dot append, right? So I'm gonna append that inside there. Then you can say US 500. See, now you can see all those ticker inside our US 500 list, okay? Right guys, so let me show you something onto the Google, right, before we move on, right? Okay guys, so we're in a Google at the moment, right? So basically I'm gonna say S&P 500 over here. After typing S&P 500, you will go to Wikipedia. Okay guys, so you can see over here basically the Standard & Poor 500, or simply S&P 500, is a stock market index tracking the stock performance of 500 of the largest company listed on stock exchange in the United States. So basically it says over here, as of December 31st 2020, more than 5.4 trillion was invested in the asset tied to the performance of the indices, right? So basically you can see that this is the most invested index ever in the world, right? So 5.4 trillion is a huge amount though. So it's not like the million or billion, it's a trillion, right? So I mean, like in mathematically I'm just thinking about the 10 power 12, something like that, right? And see the another one we have over here is a GSPC and SPX. You see the dollar sign over here, right? And SPX and dot SPX and dot INX, right? So basically let me show you what's basically this mean, right? So I will open my Jupyter notebook. I found something on the internet that's quite interesting, right? So I'm gonna put this over here, right? So since there's a dollar symbol over here, right? So now you can see over here what basically it says, like GSPC is only for the Yahoo Finance, right, ticker, where the caret symbol, right, this one is often used to represent an index in the financial platform, right? And where SPX with the dollar sign is used in a Bloomberg and CNBC, right, it's represent the 500 index. So dollar sign is commonly used to denote an index, right? And where SPX is normal SPX, right? This is the ticker symbol used often in future contract and S&P 500 index, right? So there's a different meaning of this SPX with the dollar SPX with the this one caret GSPC. So there's a different meaning, right? Similarly, dot SPX in some platform include Reuters and Google Finance. Hopefully you remember the video about the Reuters, about the Yahoo Finance, and also about the Bloomberg, right? That's why I told you why to use those platform, right? See over here they have a different ticker, and you have to memorize, right? This ticker mean this ticker mean this, right? So is used for prefix to represent S&P 500 index, right? This is similar to somehow platform use dot for international stock indices, right? So DJI, that's basically stand for Dow Johnson Industrial Average. I think these are the 30 top companies as far as I remember. So if I say Dow Johnson, right, Dow Johnson shares, right, something like that, and let me see, it should be a 30 industrial average, I remember. Yeah, there you go. DJI include only 30 large companies, right? So those are the most top players, you know what I mean? So you can see over here this is nearly like 33,000 and $55 something for per one, right? That's crazy. So another is .inx, right? So this is another symbol used for like by some financial platform, right, such as Yahoo Finance and Google Finance, right? So this represented 500 index. It is abbreviations of index and it's used for differentiate the index from individual stock, right? So guys, there's a lot of things you need to know, and also I'm still learning on this journey, right? So now I will show you something cool stuff, right? So basically this is you can see over here index, right? That's how we represent over Google, right? Google Finance, right? So you can see how the performance over here, and that is very good, right? So let me see what's happened during the pandemic, right? So over here, something over here 2019, there we go, right? So on the pandemic, see how it went down and then suddenly start rising up because they have different strategy, right? See the stack companies, they always go through the exponential dip, right? And they have exponential growth. And hopefully you guys remember that book from James Clear, Atomic Habit, where 1% is like a compound interest, right? Nearly 36 to 37% you become a better if you improve 1% every day, right? Similarly, I will say exponentially help you to become a good programmer if you program every day, right, on 365 days. It's not like you program for like today and you don't program for a couple of weeks. So that doesn't make sense, right? So you need to keep programming every day so to make yourself better. So guys, another one is Yahoo Finance. In Yahoo Finance you can type this symbol, right? Basically I will copy this again just to show you around, right? So yeah, see, if I just press this, it will be basically gonna lead to the same place, right? ETF, right? We basically recognize by SPY. You can see over here, even they have the risk over here. In the risk you can see the alpha, beta, right? Mean annual return, R square, standard deviation, size, Sharpe ratio. So those are the very important thing you have to look after, right? And if you see the holder side, those are the holders over here, right? Similarly, if you go to your NASDAQ, right, you can see over here, right? So SPX, right? And you can see the price chart over here, and they will give you some bit informations, but most of the information are available on Y Finance. Index fund versus ETF, what is difference, right? You can see over here it says, right, learning investment basic include understanding the difference between the index fund, right? That's very important, right? So we can see over here mutual funded pool investment vehicle managed by a money management professional, where exchange trade ETF represent basket of security trade on a stock exchange like stock. ETF can bought and sold at any time. That is the one good thing. So mutual fund are only priced at the end of the day. Overall, ETF are lowest cost and more tax efficient than similar mutual funds. So see, this one is tax efficient, right? So when it's come to basically, yeah, this one I really want to show, right? What is different between ETF and index fund? The main difference between ETF and index fund is ETF can be traded, bought and sold during the day. Index fund can only be traded as the price point at the end of the trading day, right? It's like a contract, right? So do ETF or index fund have better return? ETF and index fund historically have both perform well, like it's very stable, you know what I mean. It may be wise to check the overall cost of each and compare them before you decide where to invest your money. So most probably on ETF or index fund you lose money when you have too much volumes, right, because of that small yield, right? So you need to be careful with that, right? So are ETF or index fund safer? Neither an ETF or index fund is safer than other, as it depend on the fund owns, right? Stock will always be risky than bond. That's a fact, because stock is very volatile, right? And but will usually yield higher return on investment, right? So we know that though. So same thing happened with the Amazon, right? So they have a lot of high volatility, right? But the return was amazing this year, right? And compared to if you do the back testing for 20 years, right? So the return was amazing. So the bottom line, both index mutual fund and ETF can provide investor with broad diversified exposure to the stock market, making them good long-term investment suitable for more investor side. So ETF may be more accessible and easy to trade for retail investors, as they trade like shares of stock on exchange. They also tend to have lower fees and are more tax efficient on average. So you must heard about the retail trader side. Most of the brokers and I'm like most of the day traders are the retail trader side. They use the retail chart over there. They just look for the high, low. They look for trend, right? They match those nodes. They also have the control flow chart. So like there's a lot of stuff going on, right? So now you can see over here they have a back testing on their website, right? On the Investopedia, they're quite a machine learning algorithm, right? Now you can see over here, if you invested like a $1,000, then this is what the Tesla would bring you back, right? And this is what your S&P 500 has bought you back, right? So basically you can say S&P 500 percentage change 66%, where Tesla percentage change is 709%. 709 as compared to 66% though. You can see over here that is the amount of risk, right? So the total profit is 7,093. So annual return is 51.92%, and total increase is 709.32%. Wow, that's crazy. That's like a pure unicorn. So basically unicorn is the term we use for the startup companies, right? If a startup company or any company is making too much profit, right, on the like few years of their startup, then basically they are unicorns, right? So well, Tesla is not that much I'm like new company. It's quite old company, right? So you can see over here till 2013, right, they are struggling. They have an exponential dip over here. Now you can see the growth, the exponential growth you can see over here. Wow, that's mad, right guys? So let's move on into the coding part, right? Right guys, so next what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna use that US 500 sticker now. So basically I'm gonna say US let's say US price, right? And let's say US price data, right? And I'm gonna say YF dot, and you can press a tab over here, right? After tab you can say the download. In download you can mention, right, US 500. Then you have to mention those starting date. I will say start, right? Then most probably what I say on a start is 2023, right? Then I will say the month, so 05, that's 10 for me, right? So I will put the day of 22nd, right? And I will say and for the end 2023 I will say 05. Oops, sorry, 05. Oh god, come on, I'm moving ahead of time. And 23, right? So then next I will say I just close, right? And yeah, I'm gonna run this. So now you can see over here it's automatically start mining those data from Finance API. It will take a while, right? So till then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make something to drop all those delisted ticker price data dot drop and a, right, axis equal to 1, and I will say in place equal to true, right? So now you can see over here there's 22 failed download over here, so I'm going to remove all of them. So I will say US price data dot shape, right? So there's 483. So we had nearly 505 tickers and only 483 is able to mine. So 505 minus 483 should be 22, the difference, yeah, 22, right? So now you can see over here 22 failed download. Alright guys, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rerun this Carol, right? So I will clear all the output. I will try to rerun this again because I don't want to make any mistake over here. So those are all the data been mined. Oops. So yeah, well, I was thinking, right, I was wondering, right, so it's just a 24 hours, right, I'm mining this data, right? So I'm planning to like use at least 30 days, you know, like I don't think like one day data will give us a clear picture, right? Because most probably we are relying on the old data, right? So previous data. So I will just put for a month's, right, a month's difference, right, in case just for modeling, right, because we need to know what's basically going on. So if I can take a mean value of those 1 month, most probably I can plot that into the correlations matrix just to check the how they are correlated to each other, and yeah, something like that. Also, you know, there's a lot of plenty of thing going on in my brain at the moment, right? We can do a lot of things with this, a lot of cool stuff, you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm gonna import this, right, libraries. So I'm gonna use a technical analysis, right, TA. So you have to install this, and seaborn and warning, right? Okay, so let's do one thing, right? Let's do some correlations analysis first, right? How the stock are correlated to each other, right? Let's do correlation matrix first. Correlation matrix, right? I'll just say correlation matrix equal to US price. Let's do what over here? Oops, sorry. Let's write a heading over here. Correlations, right? Analysis, right? So correlation analysis, right? So let's say US US price data dot correlations, right? And now you can see over here is automatically is automatically do the correlations over here. That's cool. That's very cool, isn't it? So now we have to plot them, right? Before plotting them, right, you cannot plot 483 rows and 482 columns, right guys? So we have to find those top 10 or top 20, right? In this case I will use top 10. I'm not interested into top 20s, right? So let's say correlations matrix, let's make into a new variables, right? Let's say correlations, right, pairs, right, equal to correlations matrix, right, dot unstack, right, and I will say dot short, right, then I will say values, short values, right, and after that I want it to do ascending order, and I will say false. That's gonna give me a descending order, right? So the purpose of doing ascending equal to false is just to make it more organized. So let's say like we have the top values in the bottom, right? So in that case we have to put them into the ascending, right? So basically what we can say over here is like we are sorting those values, right? We are sorting those values according to top values, right? Let's say I will show you how this works, right? So let's say x equal to x for x in range, right, 1 to 10. Okay, so now you can see the value of the x, right? So but x is not our pandas, right? So I'm like not in our pandas data frame, right? So what we can do is like, let's say like a df temporary, right, and let's say like pd dot data frame, right, and I will say x, right? So I think we have to pass the index for that, df 10, right? There you go. So if I say, right, dot short values, right? If I say dot sort values, sorry, yeah, dot sort values, right? So we also have to define the columns over here, right? So let's say columns, right? So I will say something like value, right? So if I run this again, right, so do you have those short dot values, right? Basically now we have to access into the column. So if I say that value, right, now you can see the value over there, and I will say short, right, short values, and if I'll say ascending, right, I will say false, right? Now you can see over here, so now it's been into the opposite order, 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. So now you can see over here we did the same over here, right? We used the ascending order, but we have that into a reverse way, so we made ascending order false. That basically led us to descending order, right? So I'm gonna remove this, right? So hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say over here, right? So so let me show you something after this, right? So basically what we can see now over here is oops, there you go. Now you can see over here those are the 1, then those are negative values, right, till -1, right? So you know the correlations is basically I'm like the correlations is there's a negative correlation and the positive correlation, right? The maximum values are 1 on our scales, right? So you can see over here minus 0.963553, that is the lowest correlations. So basically it's nearly the 1 if you say, because it is negligible, though 0.04 is negligible, right? So okay, let's not deep let's not dive that much deep, right? So let's say correlations pair equal to correlations matrix, right? Correlation matrix no. Correlations pair equal to correlations pairs, right? Oops, yeah. So then we have to define the correlation pair again, right? So basically what we're gonna do is not equal to 1. We should not be equal to 1, right? So for that what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop them, right? So we'll say drop and a no, we're gonna drop duplicate, yeah. So okay, drop duplicates, right? So this is gonna drop all the duplicates, right? And we're gonna only look for top 10, right? After that I will say correlation pair, right, equal to let's say pandas, right? Because we have defined everything till now, right? So we have moved up into the descending order, right? The highest will be on the top, then we have dropped all the duplicate side. Now the another is data frame. So data frame equal to, let's say correlation pair, right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna reset those index, right? Right, so we're gonna reset those index, open and close parentheses. Okay, let's see what's wrong over here. So dot drop duplicates, right? Duplicates, that's look fine. It's saying like invalid syntax, right? So basically I forgot to put 1 over here. So yeah, there we go. And basically I'm gonna check how it's look like now. Okay, now you can see over here those are Google's, right? NWS, UAA, MLM. So there's a lot of thing going on at the moment, right? So after that what we can do is like CMap, right? So CMap, I'm gonna keep it green, right? And I need SNS dot set style, right? Then I'm gonna say something on white, right? So after that I will say plt dot figures, right? I will say fixed size, and I will say something like 15, and let's say 10 by 10. If something happens we can change it later on, right? So 10 by 10 SNS dot heat map, we're looking for heat map, right? Then we're gonna say correlation matrix, yep, that's the one. correlation matrix dot, we're gonna locate, right? So basically we're gonna locate this one, correlation pairs, inside there. Then I'm gonna use an integer locations where I'm gonna keep the row and column into 0 index. Then I'm gonna say correlations pairs again. Then gonna locate I'm gonna use integer locations. Then I will put the index into 1, right? So basically I'm gonna close this. Right now there is another C map equal to C map, so that's basically define the color. So we can do directly like this also, like we will cut this off right from there and we can paste over here. Oops, copy this and paste this, right? Just remove this, that's a waste of time. So after that I will say anot, right? I will say true, right? And I will say fmt, right, dot 2f, right? And I will say plt dot show. Okay, something is wrong over here. Now it says matplotlib has no attributes figures, right? So plt, I remember I have used matplotlib.pyplot as plt. I have used the pyplot. Okay, so what we can do over here, most probably I'm gonna just remove this, right, just to check whether it's working or not. Okay, it's working, that's perfect, but I really want this fixed size, right? So let me see what we can do over here. Oh, that's the mistake, isn't it? So I have put the S over there. Yeah, now you can see over here. That still not look good because that's quite big. I'm gonna put into 5 into 5 maybe. No, let me see. Oops, that's worse. Okay, yeah, that's perfect, right? 10 by 5, right? Okay guys, so let's move on, right? So I'm gonna put more block over here, right? So now we're gonna do is building an algorithm, right, for separating top less volatile companies for investment, right? So what I'm gonna say, let's say RSI, RSI data, then I'll say pd dot let's say data frame, right? I'm gonna keep this empty data frame over here, right? Then after that another block I will say let's not take another block, let's use same block, right? Because we are using for loop. I don't want to confuse you guys. Let's say for column in the basically for iterator, right, in yeah, US price. I remember US price data, right? So we are iterating to the US price data dot columns, right? So dot column side, let me show you what's basically is that, right? So let's say US price data dot columns. You can see over here those are our column side, basically those ticker symbols, right? So now what we're gonna do, let's say RSI equal to TA, that's stand for technical analysis, right? So now we want momentum, right? So we're using a momentum, then the RSI indicator, right? And we say US oops, that's capital, so into use a small case, US price data, and I will say column, right, and basically those are the iterator RSI, right? And I say RSI data that equal to, oops, sorry, I need to index that. Yep. And after that I will say RSI. I'm gonna run this. So basically now you can see over here RSI data, right? Those are our all RSI data. Oops, those are in, and there we go, right? So I'm gonna drop those all 9 values, right? RSI dot drop NA, let's say in place true. Oops, sorry, true, right? So RSI data, yep, now you can see over here those are all the data we have available, right? So what we're gonna do next is let's say low RSI, right, equal to RSI data dot ilog, right? So integer locations, right? So I will say -1, then say less than 30, right? So let me show you how basically this look like. So now you can say so all over like true and false, right? So let me get more block, and let's say safe companies, right? So low RSI dot short values, right, dot index, and I'm gonna say 10 of them, right? So let's say safe companies, right? So those are the safe companies, right, with the low RSI. So basically the code is using technical analysis to identify the less volatile companies in the S&P 500 index, right? So we have built this code over here, right? So basically it calculate a relative strength index, which is RSI, for each company's stock price using TA dot momentum RSI indicator. You can see over here this one, right? So from our library, which basically we have imported somewhere over here, right? There we go, TA, right, technical analysis, right? So now basically what's sorry, where's that? Yeah, there we go, right? So now basically is then filtered the companies where RSI is below 30, and which is basically over here, right, below 30, which is considered oversold and potentially undervalued, right? Finally is select and select top 10 less volatile companies based on RSI and sort them into ascending order using the sort value method. So we have used over here, right? So and the result companies are sorted into the safe company variables. So this is our safe company variables, right? So basically I have already documented this all thing into my past report, right? I will put a link on the descriptions after finishing this video, right? Just a quick reminder, guys, please don't forget that we are using only for 1 month data, right? So previous last 1 month data. So basically if you change those 1 month into the various time frame, it will give you the different kind of different kind of analysis, right? So basically what we're gonna do next is just to plot graph, right? I will say plt dot style, right? Style, and let's say dot use, and I'm gonna use dark background today. So dark background, right? And let's say plt dot figure, right? Plt dot figure, let's say fix size, right? Fix size equal to 20 and 6, right? And basically what I can do, like US price data, and I will say US price data, right? I will say safe companies, right? And safe companies dot plot. Yeah, that should be fine, right? I will say kind. And there's various way to do visualization, right? So if you have your own method, you can also use your own method, right? So don't worry about that. So alpha equal to 0.5 is basically how visible the graph is, right? So we call that transparent, right? And opaque. So it is like that slider over there. So how transparent you want to make or how opaque you want to make, right? So let's say stacked, let's give a stack false, right? False, right? So that should look fine. So let me check the spelling again, right? STACKED, that's look fine, right? And say let's say fixed size, right? So let's say fixed size, and let's put something like 20 and 15. That should be fine. And basically I want to give a try before I move on, and I'm gonna optimize this graph. Plt show, right? Plt dot close, right? Okay, so that's what I'm expecting, you know. So if there's any mistake, we can fix those mistakes before we move on, right? So that's look fine. US price data, then dot plot, and after plot we define the area, then there's the alpha, then just the stack false, then there's a fixed size. There we go. There is the mistake, equal to, right? So now you can see over here, guys, that's how this look like. And I really want to make this a bit smaller because that's quite big. So oops, it's meant to be over here. So 10 and 6 maybe. Yeah, that's look much better. So now you can see over here, that's how the price over here look like, and those are the time frame, right? That's for the basically for 1 month, right? And what you can see observe over here is there's a different colors over here, and see the those ones is NOW, that's stand for NOW, right? So yeah, that's really easy, right? So let's move on, right? So guys, let's see the performance of the top 10 10 highest share price, right? Let's say like top right 10 highest, right, share price. Let's see the performance, right? Which company is doing the best, I'm like best in our benchmark, right? So what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say like first high high price, right? High price companies, right? Then I will say US, right? US data dot max, right? I'm going to put the max dot short. Don't even need to do the max. Let's say short, right? Short values, right? Ascending equal to false, right? Sorry, false, yeah, false dot index, right? After index you can say 10. Oops, sorry, there's something wrong, right? So basically US price data dot short, and we put ascending dot index, so missing one argument, right? So data, if I say let's put max, right? Let's put, yeah, let's see, should be fine. So those are the top, right? So those are the top performing at the moment, right? So NVR, right? So let's Google one time, let's see what's basically this NVR is, right? So if I go over here, oops, so NVR shares price, so basically that is basically a top performing at the moment. So you can say NVR in corporations, right? So let's see market summary, not market summary, sorry, more about NVR in corporations. Wow. So NVR is a company engaged in home construction, headquartered in Reston, Virginia. It also operates a mortgage, bank, and title service businesses. They have multiple businesses, right? So that's the reason why. So you can see over during pandemic, they had a pretty rough time during the pandemic. You can see over here, there's a lot of sell-off. A lot of people must be desperate to sell off over there, and now you can see over there, that is a growth, right guys? This company is on a really good growth at the moment. And let's see the overall view. Wow, there is lot of sell off over here, and there was another sell off in 2018, right? And let's see what's happened on the financial crisis. So it's looked fine, doesn't impact you damn that much, right? Okay, so let's move on. So basically, yeah, those are the one. So another is BKNG. I'm gonna copy this. I'm just verifying, this is validating, right? In case just don't want to give you the wrong information, right? So that's NASDAQ booking holding incorporations, right? Wow, so those are also really good performer, you can see over here. Wow guys, so that's just something new for me also, right? So now we're gonna plot the graph, right? So basically we are plotting a graph now, and I'm gonna use the same fundamentals, right? So basically I'm gonna copy this from the top, right? Then I'm gonna paste this over here. Then what I can do next is just to edit this one, right? These areas, right? So basically UK US, sorry, I'm in US market at the moment. So I'm gonna put this US market over here, right? And I'll say plot area stacks, right? All will remain same, right? Now you can just run this. I can see over here, that's how this look like, right? So if you're not satisfied with this, so basically what I can do, I can copy this, right? And after copying this, I will say instead of area, I will say bar, right? So this will give you the bar representations over here, right? So you can see over here, guys. So the most problematic thing over here is you cannot see the bar graph properly because of those, right? And the most probably you can do is just to remove some time frame from here, right? To remove the time frame, I will show you how to do this. Basically you can just put over here mean, right? Oops, I put it into wrong way, right? So basically you have to put over here dot mean, right? Now you can see over here those are the mean values over here, right? So that's how you can present all those data into the mean value of those 30 days. Yeah, exactly 1 month, right? So few more thing while doing this. You have to define the x and y axis, right? So basically see the x axis already defined, right? So y axis, what I can do over here, I will say plt dot y label, because most of you guys know from my post on LinkedIn and GitHub that I'm really strict about the data visualizations, right? Because see, imagine you're putting the hours and hours, you know, like you're putting 24 hours, you're putting 1 week just to get some data, and you cannot visualize that properly, then that's a waste, you know. Like lot of those analysis will perform according to those graph, because see the stakeholders, and especially when it's come to presenting those reports, most probably people will understand only the graph and the storytelling, right? So they won't know what you did in the coding, right? Coding sections. So most probably if you have to give your short, right, if you have to present yourself, right, and there is a word called first impression is the last impression. So graph is the one which is the first impression, right? If you have a beautiful graph, a beautiful analysis, right, then of course everybody like to read it, and everybody can make their own analytical views over there, right? So the graph is very important for me. I will say just the price over here, and I will just say dollar. I will keep it more more objective, right? So I'll try to run this. Now you can see over here that's the price, right? That's look fine. And I also need to mention a title, right? plt dot title, right? Let's say top 10 less volatile investment. So now you can see over here, oops, I need to be capital always. Yeah, so top 10 less volatile investment, right? So another one over here, you can say x. So let's not waste our time, right? So I'll copy this just straight away, and I will just paste over here, right? And I will say like top 10 highest price stock, right? So now you can see over here that's look perfectly fine. And if you want to make this more beautiful, right, so my recommendation will be plt dot I love this, so grid, right? And I will say line style, right? And I will say double dash, right? I will say color equal to white, right? And I will say alpha equal to nearly 0.7, right? I'm gonna run this. Now you can see the grid line over here, that is class. So I'll copy this, right, and I will use over here. Now you can see over here that's look perfect. Or if you want to change some color over here, then you can mention over here after figure, let's say color equal to red, right? Now you can see over here that's red, right? That's perfect. So another way is to, I'm just gonna copy this again, right? I'm gonna use the another ways to show me the lowest stock price, right? So top 10 lowest stock price, right? So I'm gonna copy this again, right? So okay, right? So basically now I'm gonna say top lowest share price, right? Share price, there you go. So basically now I'm gonna say this into the low, oops, that's capital. So I'm gonna say low price companies. So max, right? Short, instead of that we have to define one thing, this ascending need to be removed, right? Removed. and open and close parentheses dot index 10, right? So let's see low price companies, right? Those are the low price companies, and I'm gonna copy this, right? I'm gonna open my Google again, right? So I'm gonna put over here, I need to see, are those really low? Yeah, they are exactly low, though I look like a penny stock, right? Not penny, basically a dollar stock, right? Okay, well, I don't really want to criticize any company, because say the company, they create values, right? They create jobs, right? They create opportunities, right? And they also help society to grow, right? So I'm talking about the good tech companies, right? Not about those tech companies who's basically violate the law and who's basically doesn't care about the people. So I really support those companies which make the thing easy and which support humanity, right? So let's not be a philanthropist over here, right? I know, like, a lot of philanthropists, they tweet and the market start moving up and down, you know. That's really sad, right? So I'm just a student, right? I'm just a learner, right? So okay, so let's move on, right? So that's cool. So I'm gonna copy this again, right? Let's copy this again first. Let's make the both graph, right? Just want to show you guys how it's basically look like. Now I'm gonna copy this again, right? So just a copy and paste now, you know what I mean? So most probably we have done already. So top 10 lowest price stock. So now you can see over here, those are the lowest one, right? So those lies between 0 to nearly $10.50, something like that. Okay, so yeah, so what we can do next is we can plot same. Oh, we don't need to do that, we just can copy this one, and you can just change this one. We can say bar. Now you can see something like this. So basically we're gonna put the mean again, dot mean, right? So now you can see the mean. So you can see over here, that's how the things look like over here, and there's your company's ticker over here. So guys, these are the what we have to do today, right? So basically I'm just gonna change the color because I don't like the standard color. I will say color equal to, let's say, orange, right? So I really want to know how the orange look like over here, right? So oops, up, there we go. Right, there we go, orange, right? So guys, I really want to say, like, make as much as mistake as possible in coding, right? See, the more mistake you make, more you learn, right? More you learn about debugging, right? The value error, type error, indentation error, plenty of errors. I want you guys to make plenty of mistake, right? And because of that, it will help you to improve your programming, right? Hopefully you guys really enjoy this video, right? This video was quite long, and hopefully it is informative, right? So I will see you next time, guys, right? So and the next video will gonna be a very cool video. So we're gonna talk more about the moving average, right guys? See you later and peace. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, and I will provide all these files on the link below the description side. You can download this file from GitHub, and basically if you want to ask me any questions, if you have any problem, just feel free to contact me on LinkedIn, right? Or you can put anything into the comment sections, right guys? So I will see you on next video, right? So you have a nice day, right? Cheers and peace.